This video is brought to you by NZXT.com. Great technology, selection, and service. Welcome to the part 2 of our Skylake editing PC build. If you want to get caught up, part 1 is linked in the description below and in the eye. But in this episode, we'll be taking a look at the fully finished system. I'll give you the rendering benchmarks compared to my 6-core workstation machine, and also show you how this beast of a machine handles gaming. But first comes the case. The PHANTEKS Evolve ATX delivered a fantastic building experience once again, and the fact that the entire exterior are strong aluminum panels just adds so much premium to the build. And while the illuminated strip at the front is not RGB, you can replace the bulb with different included colors, but I'm sticking with this ambient white, which I'm happy with. The side panel is slightly tinted, but with the lighting installed inside, it will highlight the hardware beautifully, which is all cleaned up. And yes, in the future, I will be adding cable mod sleeved cables in orange and black to complement my final color theme, which is not purple by the way, although it does look really unique with the combination of green and aluminum. But instead, I will be lighting the interior with dark orange to complement the illuminated audio strip on the motherboard. The Hue Plus lighting is placed right beside the power supply, which is not visible through the window, and the ambient glow is firing down, so it's not creating any unwanted lights. I've connected both strips, one running along the back and top sides, which highlights the fan and the GPUs, while another one running at the bottom and front of the case, highlighting the SSD and illuminating the rest of the hardware from the front. And because the radiator fans are in white, they kind of pick up the illuminated color, which looks really awesome. And I would stick to purple as it does look very unique with the silver exterior, but it's just a little bit too harsh for my setup, so this warm orange lighting is what will remain for the future. But enough about the lights, cable management is next. So my idea here is to make sure that I know what cable is what and give me access to any of the cables at whatever time when needed. So it's just good enough so it's not a rat nest, and given plenty of space in front of the power supply and on the side of the power supply, the side panel closes just fine without any force. Hardware configuration is next, and my 6700K is overclocked to 4.6 GHz. Now, I did want to push it to 4.8, but because it's right next to me, I needed to preserve some of the silence, and the 4.6 GHz mark is that nice balance for performance temperatures, which by the way idle around 30 degrees Celsius and low 60s at full load, while keeping the machine pretty quiet. The RAM is clocked at 3200 MHz, which is pretty insane, but I'm not exactly sure what benefit of faster RAM is on render times. The front Vector 180 SSD is my cache drive, delivering very nice speeds, while the two more on the back are set up in RAID 0, and this is the primary drives to host all the footage and projects files with double the speed for read and writes. The Intel 750 SSD is my system drive that houses my games and Adobe applications with insane read and write performance, and I'm happy that all my mechanical storage is out of my workflow. The graphics cards are actually very quiet, being reference and blower style design, but at 120 Hz for my dual monitor setup, the idle temperatures are not ideal, with 68 degrees Celsius for the top card and 45 degrees Celsius for the bottom card. So now in terms of rendering performance, utilizing Adobe Media Encoder for a 5-minute 4K video file, it took 7 minutes and 30 seconds on the Skylake machine versus 8 minutes and 10 seconds on the 6-core machine with a 3930K clocked at 4.2 GHz and double the memory capacity. So I was surprised to see a faster render output with this new machine. Next, running Cinebench gave us a score of 974 on the Skylake system versus 983 on the X79 workstation. So performance-wise, I actually have not lost a significant amount of performance, moving to a 4-core chip versus a 6-core chip. Now, gaming is a total breeze with dual 980 Ti cards and a well overclocked CPU, giving me outstanding numbers on any game at the highest settings. And lastly, you just gotta have a case companion. I've chosen this nice little plant to put on top of the case, which complements the whole Skylake video very well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this very fun project. I'm surprised at how well this 4-core machine handles video editing, which is nicely complemented by fast storage and plenty of graphics horsepower. Now I will be doing more extensive testing on whether SLI is actually needed for Adobe applications and testing out CUDA versus OpenCL acceleration inside Adobe Media Encoder. So stay tuned for that video. I'm Dimitri with Hardware Canucks. Make sure to go Skylake on that like button, and we have a very cool AMD system coming to your sub box very soon, so make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.